Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, which verse is it today?
29.
29. Prayers by the demigods. Lord, in the womb. Oh, please repeat. Bibhashi,
Bibhashi,
Rupani,
Rupani,
Avabodha,
Avabodha,
Atma,
Atma,
Shemaya,
Shemaya,
Lokasya,
Lokasya,
Chara,
Chara,
Acharasya,
Acharasya,
Sattva,
Sattva,
Upapanani,
Upapanani,
Sukha,
Sukha,
Avahani,
Avani,
Satam,
Satam,
Abhadrani,
Abhadrani,
Muhu,
Muhu,
Kalanam,
Kalanam,
Vibhashi Rupanyava Vabodhatma,
Vibhashi Rupani Avabodhatma,
Kemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Sattva Papanani, Sukhavahani,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavani,
Satam Abhadrani Muhu Kalanam,
Satam Papanani Muhukalanam,
Vibhashi Rupanya Vabodhatma,
Vibhashi Rupani Avabodhatma,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavahani,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavani,
Satam Abhadrani Muhu Kalanam,
Satam Papanani Muhukalanam,
Vibhashi Rupanya Vabodhatma,
Vibhashi Rupani Avabodhatma,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavahani,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavani,
Satam Abhadrani Muhu Kalanam,
Satam Abhadrani Muhukalanam,
Vibhashi Rupanya Vabodhatma,
Vibhashi Rupani Avabodhatma,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavahani,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavani,
Satam Abhadrani Muhu Kalanam,
Satam Abhadrani Muhukalanam,
Vibhashi Rupani Avabodhatma,
Vibhashi Rupanya Vabodhatma,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavahani,
Sattva Papanani Avahani,
Satam Abhadrani Muhukalanam,
Satam Abhadrani Muhukalanam,
Vibhashi Rupani Avabodhatma,
Vibhashi Rupanya Vabodhatma,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavahani,
Sattva Papanani Sukhavani,
Satam Abhadrani Muhukalanam,
Satam Abhadrani Muhukalanam,
Vibhashi
Rupani Abavoda Atma
Vivashi Rupani Avavoda Atma
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya
Sato Papanani Sukabhani
Sato Papanani Sukabhani
Satam Apadarani Muhukalanam
Satam Apadarani Muhukalanam. Ladies.
Vivashi Rupani Avavoda Atma
Vivashi Rupani Avavoda Atma
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya
Saropapanani Sukabhani
Sato Papanani Sukabhani
Satamabhadani Mahutkalanam
Satam Apadarani Muhukalanam.
Vivashi Rupani Avavoda Atma
Vivashi Rupani Avavoda Atma
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya
Shemaya Lokasya Characharasya
Sato
Papanani Sukabhani
Satam Habadhani Muhukalanam
Satam Apadarani Muhukalanam. So we do need a French translation. Are you okay, Garangi, with the translation? You'll be okay?
I'll summarize it.
Okay, I'll speak a little slowly. Is it easier or
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
it's okay? Vivashi, you accept. Rupani, varieties of forms, such as Matsya, Kurma, and Varaha, Rama and Nrsimha. Avavoda, Atma, in spite of having different incarnations, you remain the Supreme, full of knowledge. Shemaya, for the benefit of everyone, and especially the devotees. Lokasya, of all living entities. Characharasya, moving and non-moving. Sattva Upapanani, all such incarnations are transcendental. Shuddha Sattva. Sukha Avahani, full of transcendental bliss. Satam, of the devotees. Abhadrani, all auspiciousness. I'll repeat that. All inauspiciousness. Or annihilation. Muhu, again and again. Kalanam, of the devotees. Translation and purport, and I think they have French Srimad Bhagavatam, so they can read it. O Lord, you are always in full knowledge, and to bring all good fortune to all living entities, you appear in different incarnations, all of them transcendental to the material creation. When you appear in these incarnations, you are pleasing to the pious and religious devotees. But for non-devotees, you are the annihilator. Report. This verse explains why the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as an incarnation again and again. The incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead all function differently, but their main purpose is paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam, to protect the devotees and annihilate the miscreants. Yet even though the dushkritis or the miscreants are annihilated, this is ultimately good for them. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A very short but very nice verse and purport. And basically, as Prabhupada is saying here, the demigods are inferring the reasons why the Lord appears. Oh, changing guards. Why the Lord appears in this world. Everything has a reason. Everything that happens in creation has a reason. Everything happens in our daily lives has a reason. Generally, when people go somewhere, they have a reason. Like it or not, maybe it's not always our plan, but there is a reason behind it. Nothing happens by total arbitrary chance. Huh? Everything has a reason. The material world, generally, and this verse also mentions that his body is transcendental. It is not of this world. Krishna is not subjected to karma. In fact, karma is under him. He is beyond, above, transcendental too. He has many forms. Even these forms mentioned here, at least by Prabhupada in the word for word, they may have functions within this material world which appear to be temporary, but they're not. These pastimes are going on somewhere in the material universes. They may be manifested here on this planet at times, and then unmanifested, but they're going on somewhere. Those pastimes are, generally speaking, called naimittika, functional pastimes for specific reasons, which may not have the exact, let's say, nature of the form of that Lord in the spiritual realm in terms of Goloka, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha, etc. When the Lord appears in this world, unlike an ordinary living entity, we appear in this world, well, what can we say in our present condition? People will say, why have you appeared? Or what is the reason you've appeared in this world? I guess what will people say? Because my mum and dad had some kind of interaction with each other, rightly or wrongly, desiring or not desiring, but somehow or another I appeared. Most people have no idea, they don't accept any idea of existence before this lifetime. Very vague, if at all. It's even an irreligious statement in some groups to say that I was at least in a form in this world or in this universe or somewhere alive, existing. I only started my existence when I was born in this lifetime. I didn't exist before. Some people have this philosophy, large numbers of people. Some people have even the philosophy they don't even exist in this lifetime. They simply don't exist. It's a dream. In one sense, it's true. If you look at it in another way, that, well, the identity we have in this lifetime is a dream-like identity. It's not really us. Many have a philosophy that that's it. This is one dream and that's the end, boy. You only get one dream. Make the most of it. Others have, dreams like, let's say philosophy, so-called philosophies of some kind that you have one shot. And if you don't make it in this shot, you're finished. That's it. One chance only. And if for some reason or other you're not born in the right place, hard luck. Different philosophies or beliefs rather than philosophies. They're not so much bound or let's say based upon logic and reason in many cases. It's pretty logical that, if we do something we get a reaction for it. More or less. We experience that in our daily lives. If you eat something, you get some kind of reaction usually, good or bad. You might get food poisoning. If you steal something, you might get some reaction, gross and subtle. Not everything is so easily detectable, but certain things are obvious, and it indicates a higher, let's say, order in life. Here we see Krishna appearing for a different reason. Now, why do we appear in this world? If you of the opinion that we do appear, why do we appear? To enjoy. Try to enjoy. Enjoy or not, but at least we try to exert our free will. We may not. Of course, we may not be aware of the roots of these things. Certainly in this present life, these are free will. We treasure our free will and we endeavour to enjoy. Whether we know the root behind it. What else would we say why we appear in this world?
To protect the devotees.
We may not. Maybe some of us are coming for that reason. I don't think I came for that reason. Krishna does. But why do we appear in this world? And sometimes that's a fact, but it's not usually the case that the jiva appears in this world for the benefit of the devotees. We do see some eternal associates of the Lord who appear in this world, empowered by the Lord, Shakti Avesha, for the mission, yes?
Because we're put in prison, that's why we appear.
We're put in prison. That may not go down very well with people, but yes, this material world, spiritually speaking, is like a prison house. Why are we put in prison, then you would ask?
For criminals.
What is your crime? I didn't do anything. Why this happened to me? I was a little baby, and why is this happening to me? Poor innocent baby. Why is it happening?
Innocence doesn't exist.
Innocent doesn't exist? What are you, a perpetual criminal or something? Most people think, my mother said that to me when I joined the Hare Krishna movement. She said, what have I done to deserve this? I've been a good woman all my life and I've treated you nicely. How can you do this to me? Probably you had some similar experiences, some of you, maybe. Yeah, we've got to carry on.
Because we are all guilty.
Diseased?
We are all guilty. We are forced to come here.
We're what?
We are
Guilty.
forced, obliged.
Huh? Guilty.
Guilty. We go
Guilty of what?
We rebel.
I don't remember anything. Guilty of what? Huh?
We rebel against Krishna.
Pardon?
We rebel against Krishna.
You rose? Rebelled. You're a rebel. You're a rebel.
Yes.
We have been envious of God.
Heavy statements. Enemies of God, rebelled against Krishna, a criminal. You sound pretty condemned. Well, yes. Let's put it in a slightly milder way, maybe. We express our free will independently of the free will of the Lord. We want to. We want to, like a child. Some of you have experienced that. If you've had a child, that sometimes the child wants to be independent, right? You know it's, well, you think you know. It's not good for the child to do this, but the child insists. All right then, you may say, do it, but I told you, I warned you. Don't tell me I didn't warn you. And the child goes off. And, obviously there's a stage where the child leaves home, but at a certain stage the child wants to imitate or just wants his own free will separate from the parents and gets in a mess. Gets in trouble sometimes, huh? And comes back to the mum and dad. I warned you. Don't say I didn't warn you. And then, life goes on. And the idea is you learn your lessons therein. So the child's free will, misuse, Prabhupada says, misuse of our free will. The jiva, that means the individual spirit soul, has basically two inherent, that means constitutional inclinations. Aversion and affection towards, for and against. And that's basically, in its, you could say, constitutional state, it means either for Krishna or against Krishna. And within the material world, those same inherent tendencies are still there. Likes and duality, basically duality. Seeing duality, likes and dislikes, friends and enemies, happiness and distress. Pretty much the same, Every living entity has a different perspective of things. Some like this thing and some don't like it. For one it's happy and one it's sad. Everything is duality in this world because it's based upon this the living entity's characteristic of affection and aversion. Krishna consciousness, the reflection of her Dharma. The word Dharma, is it used in this verse? Maybe not. But the word Dharma is used by Krishna when he speaks to Arjuna. In the verses quoted here by Prabhupada. It's not directly mentioned, but Prabhupada is referring to the verses which do mention the word Dharma. What is Dharma? Nature. Original occupation. That which is a fact. Prabhupada uses that sometimes. Factual. That which cannot be taken away. That which cannot be changed. It may be changed in terms of, you could say, its direction, but its actual ingredient cannot change. Its origin cannot change. That is eternal. What is that Dharma in terms of the living entity? Excuse me? Service? Yeah, that's the proper use of, you could say, that propensity, service towards God. I was listening yesterday, Prabhupada said, you cannot stop serving. You can't stop. You serve your mind if you want to, even if you don't want to. You serve your senses, you serve somebody else's plan, you try to serve your own plan, right? You cannot stop. So Prabhupada said, wait, if you've got to serve, why not serve Krishna? You've got to serve something or somebody, so why not serve Krishna? That's the favourable, you could say. The real it's like the waking stage. There's 3 states of consciousness: waking, sleeping, and dreaming. Deep sleep and dreaming. So they're all states of consciousness in one sense. But naturally, the waking stage is considered to be the I don't know if you call it real, but the generally speaking, the more important of the stages in one sense. Well, I don't know the word to use, but maybe you get the idea. So, a living entity cannot stop, even in this world, trying to enjoy. It's another propensity, another one of its stat of the living entity, always trying to be the enjoyer, that was mentioned earlier. So that you can enjoy in relationship with Krishna, or try to enjoy separately from him. He gives that choice. He gives that free will. He gives the facility to manifest, let's say, a situation where you can express your free will. He provides this material world, just like a parent provides the toys for the naughty boy or girl, or whatever it is, for their pleasure. They provide it. The child doesn't. So Krishna, so then we may ask, okay, perhaps there's a little bit of acceptance or not of the reason we're under the influence of this material energy, which is also Krishna's energy, because we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. We don't want to think of Krishna. Even now sometimes we don't think much of Krishna. We go about our daily lives and we don't think much in relation to Krishna. Most of our responses are responses to mundane stimuli. How I feel. I don't like it. It's affecting me. It's all about me, isn't it? Many times, how I feel. So Dharma is to help in this world, our eternal constitutional position. When we talk of Dharma in this world, or religiosity in most people's minds, whatever that is, some set of codes of religion. What are they for? What are those codes of religion for? So we can go to heaven, avoid going to hell, be happier in this lifetime? What are they for? What are they for, really?
To perform yoga and get purified.
No, most people won't know that. Yeah, in one sense, yes, to perform yoga, to give us some people don't like religion, huh? Restricting your sense enjoyment, huh? They don't like it, do they? Huh? No restricting some religions. No, only eating meat under certain conditions, only drinking under certain conditions. Some religions not even drinking. Some no smoking, no gambling. Restrictions on sex life. So many gender restrictions are there sometimes. Restrictions. We don't like this. Oh, make another philosophy. Get rid of it. Of course, that results in perpetual material lifetime. But what is the religion for? Is it just so that we are kept under control? Maybe by fear. Some people, by fear.
Keep us on the right path.
Keep us on the right path? Well, yeah, if you know what the right path is, not everyone agrees on that one. Every religion seems to disagree with the other one's right path, practically speaking, of this world, isn't it? But ultimately, yes, that's what it's for, coming from God. It's the, like a parent or a teacher giving some guidance to the student so that their life becomes, supposedly, more auspicious, more beneficial. They don't get in trouble. I won't mention some old English cliches, but it's supposed to help to keep you out of trouble also. We're in trouble in this material world. And most people think the benefit of religion or the purpose is to improve your lot within the material world, right? Get a better spot. Get a better place, more comfort zone. Live up there in heaven with your pet dog and your grandmother, and I don't know what she did to get up there. But whatever it is, everything's nice and sunny up there. There's no miserable weather. You don't die either, which is nice. You stay. And I don't know how it works. Some people have to be eternally old for some reason. Some are eternally babies. And some are dogs. Kind of interesting. Maybe personal choice. I like to be old or something. They have these kind of an idea like that. And if you don't follow my religion or our religion, whatever that is, you're going the other way. You're going into a pot of boiling ghee forevermore. Stay in there forever. Something like that. There's different ways of looking at it, but there's more to it. Does Krishna come just for that reason? Does he come? Well, okay. We're also in this world, we have karma. Everyone's suffering due to karma. They're under the influence of the modes of nature. Just like in this country, we may think we're free, but there are, I believe there are, certain laws in place. Is that right? Speeding, you can't go over a certain speed. You're not supposed to do this and that. If you do, you may get fined or arrested. Stealing or whatever. Some crime in the eye of the law. It's a form of karma. Imperfect as it may be, but it is nonetheless a part of karma. So the living entity, the idea of dharma, real dharma, dharma kishaksha bhagavat pranitam, those guidelines given by God, they're not to be changed. So the Lord says, Yada yada dharmasya glani bhavati bharata bhutanam dharmasya tatatmanam shrijamyanam, famous verse, isn't it? In the Bhagavad Gita. Most Hindus know this verse, do they not?
Yes.
If they know nothing else, they know that verse. Huh?
They all quote this one.
They do. What do they think it means?
It means even a Bollywood hero can, come as a savior. That's the.
Even what?
A Bollywood actor.
A Bollywood actor?
They portray that this someone coming and helping others, he can be portrayed with this shloka. Like an Indian division can also be like God,
Are you from South India? Are you from South India? That's no excuse. In South India, I don't know if they still do. Well, I haven't been to South India for maybe a decade, to be honest. Well, I went to Kerala, but I haven't been to Tamil Nadu. Oh, I went to Andhra. I went to your hometown a few years ago. But in Tamil Nadu, I saw very much so. They worship Bollywood stars. You see that on the street? I couldn't believe it. This effigy on the street. Not effigy, a big cutout of one ugly-looking fat Bollywood star with a peacock feather and a crown on his head, and all the regalia of Krishna. They call him Bhagavan something or another. And there are temples where they worship. They say he's an incarnation of Ramchandra. Another one they said. This is Ramchandra incarnate. Bollywood star. Now, you say perverse our understanding of Dharma has become. Yeah, they don't really know. Why? Because they don't know. People don't know what's in their real self-interest. Dharma is, most people, religion means to improve your material lot, isn't it? They pray for that, mostly. Is that correct in India? People pray for material reasons? And perhaps in the West also, some people have a higher understanding, but Generally, people are more concerned with material things, isn't it? You know, health, wealth, family, next lifetime in this world maybe, peace, feel happiness, get a good job, isn't it? Mostly. And so on like that. Material understanding only, reflective understanding. And why does Krishna come? Does he come just to fulfill those desires? No. Why does he come? Okay, Paritranaya, the verse mentioned in the purple here. Paritranaya sadhanam, vinashaya chadushkitam. Okay, most people may have a somewhat picture of vinashaya chadushkitam, which means vinashaya chadushkitam. What's that mean? Annihilate the demonic. Yes, you'll be killed if you don't surrender to my God. You'll be condemned. You're going to hell perpetually. Something along those lines. Well, maybe that's somewhat seen, maybe Krishna also, but here we see, when Krishna kills somebody, do they go to hell? Where do they go? Maybe Brahma Jyoti. Sometimes they even go to the spiritual planets. Putana went. She went to the spiritual planets. She became a nurse. Krishna is all that Prabhupada says here. Ultimately, it's good for them. And Krishna punishes them. Punishment from God is, and even in the material world, you say, why is he doing this to me? Have you heard that? Why is God doing this to me? I'm innocent. Why is it? What's going on?
Human nature to blame someone.
From our point of view, that may be so. But from God's point of view, what's going on?
To understand that this material world is not a nice place to remain constantly, that we have to get out from here.
That could be there to teach us a lesson, isn't it? Wake up, wake up. You're trying to enjoy, don't you see? Don't you see what's going on? How long are you going to sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? Suffering in this material with repeated birth and death. But Maya, of course, covers us, so we don't really see it like that sometimes. But it's going on. What else? Of course, we could say Krishna's acting. He's acting in such a way as to, or through his various energies, not just himself, or his various incarnations, or through his devotees, acting in such a way as to help release the living entity from this material world. We don't want to be released. They say you can take a worm, a stool worm. Stool worm? Is it stool? You can take it out of the stool and it goes straight back in again. It doesn't have, intelligence. It just perpetually goes back in. So living entity, even though you give good instruction, do not want to hear it. Rebellious, as someone said. So the Lord comes, and then on the other side he comes to try to release us from our illusion, wake us up through various means. That's the idea. Teach us lessons. But as long as we think we belong here, it seems cruel. Isn't it? Doesn't a child think it's cruel if you take away, something from him which is not necessarily what's supposed to be, what they have at that moment at least? Maybe it's even dangerous. Child thinks this is cruel. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you taking that box of matches away from me? Why are you taking that knife away from me? That razor blade? Why are you taking it away? Why are you punishing me? Of course, nowadays there's a different philosophy. in how that should be done. But basically, this is to try to correct, isn't it? Restrict, correct. All the forms of religion in this world are meant to at least regulate with the understanding ultimately they should be given up. But at least regulate, restrict. Gradually, human life. Prabhupada says there is no human life without real religion. It is not human life. Hare Krishna. Human life begins with religion. So Krishna comes, and he particularly into the human species, he should say, amongst humans, or so-called humans. And what else does he do besides try to re-establish proper guidelines, proper principles or practices? Maybe he also has to enforce, you could say, his power. Killing sometimes is there. But what else is there? Vinasha Chadushki was one thing. Paritranaya sadhanam. What is that? What does that mean? To protect the devotees from demons? Is that the only purpose? Some people think like that, don't they? Is there more to it? On the real platform, yes. On another platform too, on the first point, to protect the devotees, not just from the demons. There's another aspect to Dharma.
For myself.
For myself. I was reading yesterday, Prabhupada said, he was asked, about enemies or something. Prabhupada said, you are your only enemy. No one else is. Prahlad Maharaj said the same thing to his father, Hiranyakashipu. You're your own enemy. You have no other enemy. The way you see it is our enemy, the way we perceive things. So he also comes, or establishes through teachings, the proper way of seeing things. So we no longer cause our own suffering by our ignorance. And what else? As was mentioned just now, he performs pastimes. What for?
For the pleasure of the devotees.
Supposed to be, isn't it? Sometimes as soon as somebody starts to, let's say, talk about Krishna, I'm busy. I've got things to do. I'm not interested in these things. Huh?
To give good examples of those pastimes.
There are some?
To give good examples. Using
Oh, yeah. I mean, from his point of view. That's another thing. To show. Yad Yadacharati Shresha. Not just to teach, but to show. To show, according to the condition of the individual soul, but to show the path. Problem is people imitate. Therefore there's Guru Shastra Sadhu to try to help how individuals, according to their nature and need, may act differently, may have a different set of rules. Varna, Ashram, etc. is their device for human beings to fit in so they can gradually transform their aversion to affection towards Krishna. Even in ignorance, they're working under the direction of the Lord. So gradual purification takes place. So establishing Chaturvarnya Mayashristam is another form, you could say, of the Lord's appearance in this world is through this God-given system. Of course, through the holy name he appears, and the Sankirtan movement is specific to this age. It's very prominent, most prominent form of the Lord, appearing in its form. Of Nam. Nama Prabhu. So it is back to the pastimes. People don't have much of a taste. Even we don't have so much of a taste, although we've been around for a little while. That taste. But he does come to perform wonderful transcendental pastimes. Now we can see those pastimes of the Lord, believe it or not, thousands and thousands of years ago, are still, even by persons who really don't believe in Krishna, they still like them, don't they? Isn't it funny? Even movie stars, huh? Many popular movie programs are related to Krishna, right? Isn't it? Mahabharata, Ramayana, They were very popular, right, in India? I was giving class in Bhubaneswar one time. You know, Bhubaneswar temple, it was quite a lot of devotees there, maybe 100, 150 devotees in the temple. I gave class, there was about 5 devotees there, and 3 of them were with me. Oh, what is going on? What type of temple is this? I saw about 150 devotees at Mangalarti. There's just 5 at class. Well, it happened to be that the Mahabharata series was on at the same time, and there was like 130 brahmacharis sat in the hall watching the television. Mahabharata. So I want to speak of the public. Another one is cricket in India. The cricket's on. And you often find, where have all the brahmacharis gone? They're on the box watching India play God knows who. Pakistan. I was on a bus one time going from Ahmedabad to Dwarka. One of the most exciting bus rides of my life. It was it was a night bus. It was extremely difficult to get a seat, and this was like the last seat. And this bus was like, I couldn't believe it. I think they got it out of the scrapyard. The back of the bus, there was a gap between, it was like a hole in the roof. The bus would go here, the back would go this way, and the front would go that way. Boink, boink, like this. I thought it was going to break in half at any minute. And I was at the back seat of the bus. And you know, the road was like, if you think this road here is bad enough, it was like a highway like this all the way. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. The back would go boom, 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 boom. And the back, going backwards and forwards like this. I still remember it. It was a great night journey. And then the bus stopped somewhere in the middle of nowhere. There was a canteen on the roadside. And everybody got out. I think, thank God for that. Whew. I just crashed out for about, I don't know how long, 1 hour maybe in the back there. Whew, shaking. And then they all piled back in. You know, what happened? They'd been watching some cricket match in England. You know, the bus stopped for this cricket match, some World Cup cricket match in England. You know, it was wild, you know. Material life, you know. Going to Dwarka. Above everything, the cricket was the most important thing, you know? What to do. Attachments. So to change our attachments, Krishna performs wonderful pastimes. We're supposed to be absorbed in those pastimes. That's the real essence. Just like just now we've celebrated, recognized. Today probably the 2nd day in Butler. But just a few days ago we read and discussed Prabhupada's poem, Markandeya Bhagavat Dharma. How much there probably is begging the Lord, please, my Lord, please give them a taste for Srimad Bhagavatam. Please give them a taste for the Bhagavatam. What taste do we have? Very little. Please give them a taste. Krishna, because we are so attracted to all kinds of things with me in the center. So Krishna is trying to protect us from being a victim of our conditioning. Not just some other demon outside, but the demons within. Demoniac mentality, seeing things with me. And the demon means one who sees me in the center. It's not just a behavior pattern. In reality, one's a demon, even if you're acting nicely in this world, according to relative perception. You're still demoniac because we're seeing ourselves, we're competing with Krishna. We're seeing ourselves in the center. Right now, we're seeing ourselves in the center, isn't it? Everything's measured from my point of view. Good and bad, we're still seeing like that. And we get disturbed. We get disturbed even in devotional service when something gets in the way of that. Quite often. To change that perception, that's all that's required. Religion is a change of perception. To start to see things in relationship with Krishna. What will please him? What he likes. Pure devotees teach us this path. Shastra teaches us the path. It takes time, step by step. Renovation, rectification take time. God knows how long we've been conditioned in this world. It takes time to change. But it is possible. By the mercy of the Lord, the mercy of the devotees, this change is already taking place. Everyone here in this room is on that path of change. We still have a little way to go. And the more we hear the wonderful pastimes of the Lord, the more we hear guidelines relevant to help us, we may object to it sometimes. We don't like it. You know, who are you to ask me to engage in some service? This is all there to try to change our conditioning of likes and dislikes and friends and enemies and whatever false identities we have are changed. Released from these falsities, the heart becomes cleansed. Rishikena Rishikesha, by engaging our senses in the service of the Lord. This is the process of changing our perception. The Lord in the heart purifies our heart, and naturally one starts to see things differently. Just like a man waking up from a dream suddenly realizes, oh my goodness, that was just a dream. How foolish. Like that. So Krishna comes in this way for the benefit of all the conditioned souls in its different forms, at different reasons, at different times, you could say. But ultimately it's all for the same purpose, to try to reclaim or bring the fallen souls back to Godhead, or to try to wake us up and realize the true nature of the living entity, our eternal constitutional nature, as Jive Srupai Nichara Krishna Das, or the servant of Krishna. We may be Dushkritas right now, but by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, the mercy of Krishna in his various forms, that demoniac mentality can be annihilated. It can be annihilated. It seems sometimes on our own we cannot do it. But by the mercy of Krishna and the mercy of the devotees, everything is possible. We can destroy that demoniac, or let's say mundane perception which we presently have, and awaken our actual favourable perception, our favourable understanding of our relationship with God, and seeing how everything is going on perfectly. Everything Krishna does is perfect. Hare Krishna. So we have to finish because we have a meeting at 10 o'clock. We've got to get ready for the meeting. And we're leaving straight after the meeting for Paris. This weekend we're honouring the 50th anniversary of the installation of Shri Shri Radha Parasishwar. It's not the official date, but the event is being honoured this weekend. We're going for that. Tomorrow there's Harinam in Saint Michel and other parts of Paris. And then on Saturday, Sunday is the festival. Many devotees from overseas will be speaking online. A few of them are present to glorify Radha Parasishwar. We'll also be trying to distribute at least 108 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Not this weekend. It would be nice. But at least we're 24 short. But they've already, yesterday, Goswami Prabhu reported 2 Bhagavatam sets distributed. Thank you, Goswami Prabhu. And I just counted this morning, we have 5 others lined up. They've already paid. We've just got to deliver their books now. They're waiting in Paris. So we're going for it. And if you have anyone here you know who wants a Bhagavatam set, we have a lot of sponsored ones as well. Please let us know. Or whatever. If you want one, French, English, Bengali, Tamil, Hindi, any language you like, let me know. There's also World Holy Name Week, so don't forget that. As much chanting as you can, please, of the Holy Name, wherever you are. Let's glorify the Holy. Bring Krishna's presence everywhere to change the demoniac environmental atmosphere of the world. So much demoniac in feelings, thoughts, horrible thoughts in the atmosphere all over the world. Fears, and anger, and greed, and lust, and confusion everywhere. Social media is just pounding it out there, like, isn't it? Like non-stop negativity. counter. Sankirtan is the only factor which will counter this, the Lord's form of kirtan. So please, kirtan as much as you can and follow in his footsteps. Good for all. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dasaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premananda. You see a nice sign up there which Sikananda, and who helped you? Pardon? What? Eleanor helped. Nice sign out there, advertising Bhagavatam. So please join in this fun of counteracting the ill effects of Kali. After Krishna left, Krishna is for Dhamma Bhagavatam, this unmanifested, he remains in the form of Bhagavatam to protect religious principles. So take the Bhagavatam and distribute it to others. Next week we'll be here for Bhadra Purnim, Krishna willing. Boom, Bhagavatam will be on a golden throne. And we may invite everyone to give a gift of the Bhagavatam to your best enemy. Better than best friend. Best enemy become your best friend.
From the first till the 12th canto.
Yes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So don't forget, what time we assemble in the hall there?
10 o'clock.
Not later. Be on time. On time. On time. Get breakfast down your in the tank right now and be on time in the hall next door if you're staying down. Very important meeting. Krishna Katha, isn't it? Krishna Katha?
Yes.
Tuberculosis Katha.
TV Katha. Better than TV Katha. Better than TV. Better than TV. It's not as addictive as TV. Not as dangerous as TV. That's right.
The lecture about diseases.
Hare Krishna.